Hey everybody, it's Mr. Dipper. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am presenting you with a driver's training series for VibeRide. On April 1st, VibeRides will be launched live to the public for picking up passengers. And because of that, we have created this driver training series. Now, this series will cover everything that you could possibly need to know, from driver safety, passenger safety, compensation, etc. So make sure you watch all the videos in the entire series and educate yourself on the whole process. Download the app, of course, get yourself registered, and we will see you on the road.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome everybody to our call. You are on the VibeRides Driver Training Sessions. This is actually, hard to believe, I was talking to Angel this morning, it's our 8th training session. 8 days now we've been doing this, covering all sorts of topics, really directed towards you as the drivers. Just going to go over a couple things here as we start off with. Today is March 31st, and I think as everybody who's been on these calls realize that tomorrow is our launch date, April 1st. Which is kind of no April Fool's jokes. We are going to launch live tomorrow, and we'll be up and operating. Thinking about it this morning, I thought that might be it. We should have gone for April 2nd, but we're going with April 1st. That'll be our launch date. Tomorrow we're at our call at 11 o'clock. Definitely tune in. That's going to be the launch date. And actually, we've got a special guest. Our CEO, Mr. Holton Buggs, is going to join us on the call tomorrow. Holton's going to be giving you some insights, and he's got a few promotional items that he's going to be mentioning tomorrow. So I would invite all of our drivers to tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So I know there's a lot of you that are working through the process right now. We have the ability, with our technology, to see where many of you are in the process of getting enrolled as a driver. I can tell coming out of Fred Brim's customer amazement team, the number of people that are working through the process. So my advice to you is watch for those texts and emails that you're getting from the customer amazement team. They're going to be asking you for specific items. So if you look at it, there's a few of you just have just a couple little items that is all you're going to need is to get approved. It could be a picture of your car, it could be your driver's license update, and maybe some new profile picture. But our customer amazement team will be in contact with you for doing that. So I'm going to see if I can turn my chat on here. And here's my question for all the people we have out there on the chat line today and on Facebook Live today. I'm curious, I'd like to see a message from you if you have been approved by a driver. I'd like to see our drivers that are actually ready to go tomorrow, that have been through the process. I know there's a number of them out there. I'm just kind of curious how many of those we have on the call. And I still, like I said, we've got a lot of people that are actually still in the process. So let's get those people in. I'm looking to see if I've got any. I know Angela is watching over on Facebook Live, or maybe Mark, you're there too. But I'm just looking for some drivers that are through the system. And hopefully, if not for the people on this call, like I said, go through, look at those texts. Go through and look at the emails that you're getting from our customer amazement team, and make sure you get your information in so we can get you out on the road and trying. Okay, I think with that we can start with the first set of slides. I think, Angela, are you working the slides for us today?
I am. I feel like I'm in my own training today because I'm taking over the slides. Well, at least I'm going to try. So let's see here.
Okay. We'll see how Angela does. Angela does a great job presenting for us. We'll have to see how she does at running the slides for us today.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay, there we go. VibeRides Driver Training Series. This is number 8 of 8 for us. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide, please, Angela.
Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Spanish line. As we always put this number out there for all of our Spanish-speaking drivers that are out there, 443-186-957 if you want to listen on the Spanish Zoom line. All right, next slide, please. Our disclaimer. We've talked about this early, a little bit later today. We're going to be going over some other concepts that we may be talking about some financial numbers and some hypothetical situations. So again, our disclaimer is that we're showing you how our plan pays out, how you get compensated. Everybody's results are going to vary based on your own commitment level, your effort, and your marketing skills. So next slide, please, Angela. Okay, so two topics that we have today. We have two topics today. The first topic is going to be accepting a ride, and Angela's going to be walking you through what those screens look like when you get that ping. And then the second part of our discussion today, I call it Overdrive Part 2. So last Wednesday, we talked about the overdrive concept. Today, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in Part 2. So now I'm going to turn it over to Angela. She's going to go through the screenshots and give you an idea what you're looking at on your phone, what you're going to see on your phone from the time you accept a ride until the ride is completed. And now Angela's going to have to do both. She's going to have to talk and manage the slides. So take it away, Angela.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see if I can do this. Good morning, VibeRides Nation, and good afternoon if you're in another area of the world, and good evening if you're way out there somewhere in the world. But welcome, and thank you, Scott, for that. Before I get going in accepting a ride, I am going to give you a couple of updates real quick. Over-the-air updates. So we've been updating on a regular basis. So we do that constantly, every hour, in the middle of the night, every day. There's constant updates going through. And so in order to get those most of the updates, you'll have to close the app and open it again to get that most up to date. But we also have, like we said with the over-the-air, in order for us to go to Google Play or to the Apple Store, we have to give them a large amount of updates at one time, and we are going to be doing that. So we'll be pushing through in the next couple days. You'll be getting those most up-to-date through the app, and so the over-the-air won't be, not that it's not going to be necessary because we're constantly working. It will be, you'll still need to do that, but not as often. I just wanted to share that with you this morning. And then one more update that I got reminded from Mario out there, who's a ambassador and a driver, and thank you, Mario, for letting me know, the way bill. So the way bill doesn't disappear right away. For if anyone, security or police or anyone wants to see your way bill during your ride, it will go away after 4 hours. So I just wanted to let you know that. It's not instant, it's 4 hours. So that I wanted to get out to you real quick, and now we can go on with accepting a ride.
Hey, Angela, can I get you to just pause 1 second? We may be having some technical difficulties over on our Facebook Live feed. Apparently the folks over there don't have any audio. They're just listening to the VibeRide music, which I enjoy. But I think we may be not getting the audio piece through there. So I'm just interrupting you intentionally to give them a little bit of time to see if they can get that rectified. Everybody here on our Zoom call is fine, but we just have a little bit of problem on the Facebook Live feed.
Okay.
All right. So let's see if we can get that rectified. And in the meantime, I think what you should do is when you talk, you should at least let the folks see you today, Angela.
I can see myself, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm on the screen. I can see myself. Yeah. I'm unmuted, of course, and let me try again here.
Okay, I guess everybody can see you. You're good.
Okay.
They said they can see you. Okay,
Right.
I can't, it's just me. But that's okay.
You see me all the time, Scott.
That's true. All right. And I think that I see the chats coming in saying I'd rather see Angela than Scott anyway.
Love you too, everyone. Love you too.
All right, so let's get back started, Angela, and then hopefully Mark has got the Facebook Live audio.
Yes, it's working fine. I see people commenting that it's working fine.
Okay.
Oh, here we go then. Okay, ride request. So this is a screen that you will see as soon as a rider requests a ride. You'll see the no thank you. You'll see the new ride request. you'll see that it's a Vibe Basic, and you'll see their star rating, which you want to know, the star rating, and we like star ratings because we want to give great customer service, and in return, they love us. You know, Vibe Nation is going to be amazing. It is amazing, and we're going to keep those stars up for both the rider and driver. So, and then on the bottom there, accept a ride, and there's a timer there that will be clicking. So you have a minute to accept the ride. So instead of saying cancel, we say no thank you, okay? So, because we have a reason for cancellations. We don't just cancel ride because we don't feel like it. We actually cancel rides for a reason. So that's why we say no thank you. So that's your first screen that you'll be seeing. Okay, accepted ride, prepare to ride. Okay, so the next screen you'll see is that'll come up is the navigation part of that. So on the top you'll see tap to open navigation, and you can do that at any time. It will stay with you on all the screens, so it's very accessible, and you'll be able to get into the navigation mode right away. So it'll be there. So on the bottom you'll see another bar. You can actually flick up. Very simple. I mean, it's very, very light little flick up, and that will take you to the next screen. And what you'll see is, again, the pickup address at the top, tap to open navigation. Again, it's accessible right there. And then that's where you'll get the information in regards to getting ready to set up your Vibe. So this is really important, of course, because we want them to choose their Vibe, and they have, and it'll give you an indication of what they're looking for, okay? So in this case, it's hip hop. They don't want to talk, okay? And they have an ambient, they chose ambient, okay? Which, that was actually me, because I don't like it cold in vehicles at all. I don't like the air conditioning blowing on me, so I like a neutral kind of temperature all the time. And then girl power is not active yet in this case, so that's why it's not highlighted. And at the bottom, you can cancel the ride, or you wait for the rider. So underneath, it'll give you the instructions, and that you can see. If you've not used it before and you forget, on the bottom, it actually says confirm you are here and wait for rider. So you tap on that, it'll take you to the next screen. Okay, proceed to destination. So on the top again, destination address is there. You can tap open to navigate if you need help in navigation. And then this is waiting for the rider. So you've got 2 minutes to wait for the rider. And then again, it says there's a tap, proceed to destination. When you're ready to go, that's what you tap on, okay? And it'll still give you a reminder of your Vibe. So you've got to set your Vibe as part of your customer service and for your rider, because that's what they chose. So be mindful of that. That's a reminder. Make sure you're ready to pick up your driver, and you know your rider, and you know exactly what their needs are. Okay. Okay. We'll go to the next one. Choose navigation options, and this is very interesting. I only had Apple Maps. That's the only thing I had on my phone. What the actual app will do, it will pick up every single navigation tool you have on your phone. So part of service, of course, you want a lot of options. And I've seen it before. I've seen people's screens pop up with 4 or 5 different navigation options, which is great. You want to be able to have options. That is because maybe the rider likes a certain navigation, and they'll say, hey, I'd like to use Waze. Can you use Waze, please? I'd rather go that route. They may say, Google Maps. They may say Apple Maps. In any case, you have all those options for them in case that's what they specifically want, and that's what'll pop up. Okay, so be aware of that. So the next screen is when you actually tap to open the navigation. So here you go. You actually can see what's happening, and we all know, pretty many of us have actually used navigation before. If you haven't, this is the actual screen that you'll see for navigation. Okay. Next screen, drop off your rider. Okay, so you have the destination address on the top. Tap open for navigation if you need that, again, of course. And then drop off your rider. So you'll see that tab right there. And again, under rider, drop off to complete the ride. So it'll give you a reminder in case you're trying to figure out the app and you're going through it, you haven't used it before, you forgot, we have those messages underneath for you to utilize. So drop off your rider. Okay, and then here we go. This is how simple it is. It's literally a few steps, easy to navigate, very instructional. We'll give you, all those tags underneath to help you out and help you navigate through. And then you come to as soon as you dropped off your rider, you're going to be able to rate your rider, okay? In this case, see, first screen is, no thank you. I don't want to rate this rider. I'm not, I don't know why you wouldn't, but anyways, I would. But if you don't want to, that's okay too. You have that option. And then the next screen shows you that you gave them 5 stars, which, again, they're doing the exact same thing for you, okay? So remember, as soon as this pops up on their side, when it pops up on your side, okay? So again, we're Vibe Nations. We love people. We want to take care of people, and most riders are really, really great. If you have an experience and it's nothing to really talk about, right? Give them a great rating. It's no big deal, you know what I mean? Because great ratings will give you a great ratings, and it builds up that rapport, and that's who we are as a culture at VibeRides anyway, right? So you want to be part of that culture. Otherwise, this is it. This is how simple it is. Here we go, Scott. I mean, that was it. Very simple, very specific, very easy to navigate. And it's over to you for Overdrive 2.
Great. Thank you, Angela. A lot of work. I hope everybody can appreciate a lot of work has gone into developing these screens, making it as simple as possible. Big shout out to DJ, who leads our IT development team and our app team here at VibeRides. I know he's on the call. He's done an outstanding job with putting these together, and him and Angela together and testing and developing these screens to make it easy for you. Just by the way, one other comment, people have asked this question: is the Rider app ready for download? The answer is yes. So for Apple right now, if you're an Apple user, you can download it. If you're on the Android platform, we've just pushed out the latest updates through Google for you to download that. So it may be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but we're trying to get every feature, every update we can possibly get before tomorrow. So if you're on an Android, it may take you another hour or so, but if you're an Apple user, that's available for you right now. So I'm going to talk about Overdrive Part 2. And as we've gone through this series of training, one thing we've been very focused on is you as the driver. You as a driver, and you'll agree that probably 95% of our training has been geared towards the drivers. On Wednesday last week, when I had Mr. Holton Muggs on the line, we talked about, we call it an opportunity-driven concept. And we also talked about that we use an independent company, BÜÜMERANG, to do marketing and branding for us. So at this point in time of Overdrive 2, I'm going to be talking more about that opportunity from the opportunity-driven concept standpoint, and not so much now about just driving. So for you drivers out there, I would encourage you to listen going through this. If this is the first, it may be a little bit confusing. I'd go back and watch the training that we had last Wednesday when we went through Overdrive. I'm going to go into a little more detail today. So if it seems a little bit foreign, I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I'm going to take you on to some other information. So again, here we go. First slide, please, Angela. Or next slide, I should say.
Oh, let's see. I didn't do anything different. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're good.
So if you remember from last Wednesday, what makes us unique, and what we call ourselves as a next generation rideshare, is we have 3 ways to earn income. Okay, so if you look at this, we call that R3, 3 ways to earn. And if we look over to the left, you're going to see where it says earn when you drive. And that's pretty much what every other rideshare company does, earn when you drive. But now we've got a couple other categories. If you look down, we have earn when drivers drive, and we also have the category earn when customers ride. So that's those two other categories are different than the other rideshare companies, and that's part of Overdrive. Next slide, please, Angela. Now, if you remember again, in our discussion is that you, the driver, are going to be getting in between 70 to 75% of the fare, and the 70% payout is up to your first 50 rides for the month. After 50 rides for the month, you're going to be paid at 75%. Now, as we talk about our opportunity-driven concept, we are putting an additional 12%, making another 12% of that fare available, and that money goes through the OVERDRIVE program. Another 12%, and that means that from our standpoint, from a VibeRides standpoint, if we're paying out 75%, plus another 12%, we'll be paying out 87% of that fare. So there's the potential to earn up to 87%. Next slide, please. Now, I'm not going to go through this picture in as much detail as I did last Wednesday. I'm just going to do a quick recap here. And again, if this is foreign to you and you haven't seen this slide before, please go back and watch the Wednesday training. So in this example here, you're going to see that there's a line down the middle, and that line down the middle comes right in the middle of our VibeRides car there. On one side, we have the driver's side, and on the other side, we have the rider's side. Now, as we talked about, you can see our driver there earns 75. Excuse me, let me back up. This example assumes a $100 fare, and we just put a $100 fare out there to make the math really easy for everybody. So in this situation here, our driver's at 75%. He's already earned his 50 rides for the month. He's getting $75. And then you're going to see, as I talked about the other 12%, there's 3% that can be earned by the individual that referred the driver, and there's 3% that actually gets contributed to the drive share pool, where again, the driver that did the individual that referred the driver can earn another 3%. So on that side, we got excuse me, I have a hard time talking again, I'm getting too excited. We have a total of another 6% on that side in 2-3% increments. Now the same goes on the rider side. Of course, the rider is the one that's paying the fare. But if somebody referred the rider, and then there's also a rider share pool. So again, in this equation, there's $3 or 3% for the rider and the rider referred, and there's also 3% that goes into the rider share pool. So again, if we look, we've got 6% on the driver's side, we've got 6% on the rider's side. That's where we come up with the 12%. Okay, on the next slide, please, Angela. And let's see. Here it comes. I know it's coming anytime soon. Okay, so what does it take to be a Vibe OVERDRIVER? What does it take to be a Vibe OVERDRIVER? So I touched on this briefly the other day. Okay, to be a Vibe OVERDRIVER is $49.95 for the business registration. That's a one-time fee. And get the OVERDRIVE pack. So that's $200 for one time, $200. But what that $200 includes is a one background check, one vehicle check, 100 boomerangs, and for the individuals that are on for my boomerang, who we classify as our TSAs, there's also 100 CD that goes along with that. Now I've got to minimize my screen here a little bit so I can see. I've got a little asterisk up there. On an ongoing basis, it's $99.95 per month. So it's $200 for the OVERDRIVE pack, and then it's $99.95 to access the technology on an ongoing basis. But we built in another incentive for you. You see the little asterisk there. We can reduce that amount to you to $49.95 when you have the opportunity to enroll other Vibe OVERDRIVERs. So if you've got friends and family, other people that you want to bring into our Vibe family, if you refer them and they stay active on our OVERDRIVE pack, your $99.95 will reduce to $49.95. So that's, again, a big savings. And, you know, for some of you that are just drivers and have what we would consider more of the self-employment concept, somebody may be looking at this and saying, wow, I mean, that seems like it's a lot of money. But in reality, if you take a look at the opportunity which you have, the opportunity to earn up to 6% just on driver referrals and potentially another 6% on rider referrals, there's a great opportunity for you to actually recoup these costs on a monthly basis and possibly make more money than that. You have the opportunity here, as we say, to build your own fleet. If you can recruit 3 people, great. If you can recruit 5 people, great. But if you can have 10 people, 15, 20, you can possibly have 20 to 25 different drivers out there driving, and you're going to get that referral fee on them, that 3%, and then the other 3%. So again, big opportunity out there. So it's really a low cost to get into business for yourself. You know, you got a one-time fee, and then you've got the ongoing fee to access our technology. It's a pretty minor fee to basically run your own business. Great opportunity. I can tell you from the people that we've talked to, we have a lot of individuals out there that are out recruiting OVERDRIVERs right today. So again, for our drivers out there, I know it's a little bit of a difficult concept. Please go back and review the training again. Next slide, Angela. Okay, now here we go. So a little bit more complicated. If you are an OVERDRIVER, or if you are a TSA, we have what's called smart codes, and they're called boomerangs. So for you that have the back office, and for our current TSAs, you're going to find in there that you've got a boomerang for IGO, and you've got boomerangs for drivers, and you've got boomerangs for riders. So here's a real key for all our TSAs out there. As a special promotion during Vibe's launch for the next 90 days, the OVERDRIVE rider and driver boomerangs are going to be unlimited. Huge opportunity for it. I'll say that again, the next 90 days, the boomerangs related to driver and riders for VibeRides will be unlimited. So here's what's going to happen. And for our drivers that are out there that are new to this whole concept, if you're an OVERDRIVER, and I'm going to say, I'm going to say I'm an OVERDRIVER, and I'm going to go get my friend Bill. I'm going to say, Bill, you got to see this opportunity. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to send Bill either a text message or I'm going to send him an email. And with that's going to come a code, just like you see here on the screen. It says, please enter your activation code to unlock your savings. I'm going to send Bill that 6-digit code. I would then direct Bill to go into iGoBoo.com. If you go to that website, then Bill's going to put in that code. It's going to activate that code. Now, the cool thing about that is that once you give out that code is a unique code. It's a smart code, and it's going to attach Bill to me. So if I tell Bill that code, Bill goes to the iGoBoo.com, puts that code in. Bill is always going to be linked to me. He'll always be my customer, no matter if he takes VibeRides, VibeDrives, whatever he does, Bill's always going to be linked to me. And when they put that code in, the code is going to be different for VibeRides if you're a driver or if you're a rider. So if you send out a boomerang that's a driver boomerang, it's going to take them to the driver landing page. If you send out a boomerang for a rider, it's going to take them to the VibeRider landing page. So again, I know for our TSAs out there, our ambassadors, this will be linked to you. That I can tell you. Our IT teams have worked together, and this will be linked to you. All smart codes, all riders and drivers that you refer with the boomerangs will be linked to you. The smart codes, we are working on another enhancement on this. It's going to be coming out later this year. And with that enhancement, we're going to be going to some QR codes. So that'll be coming out later this year. But again, for our TSA's ambassadors, unlimited boomerangs related to Vibe for the next 90 days. That should get you pretty excited. Okay, next slide, please, Angela. I'm going to skip over this one. Okay, so here's what we got. We talked about this before. I got to see if I can get my camera back on here so I can see what I'm doing. Try. There we go. So what we also have is a special promotion to get people going, and this is we really geared this towards our drivers, really for the drivers. The people that want to come in and drive, they're a little bit concerned related to the background check and the cost for the vehicle inspection. All you have to do is get signed up, get approved, get driving, and after your initial 5 rides, you will be eligible for a $50 reward. And that's going to help offset the cost of that background check and vehicle inspection. But the The key is here, you must maintain a minimum rating of a 4.2. 4.2 rating, which means you got to do your job, got to provide some good service. But you'll be able to get $50 back after your initial 5 rides. That's a one-time offer. Doesn't happen every month, just a one-time offer. You'll be able to get that $50, which is a great opportunity for everybody out there. So lots of exciting things. Great boomerang potentials for our TSAs and ambassadors. $50 rewards for the initial 5 rides. We need you to get in. We need to get you signed up as drivers. Okay, Angela, next slide, please. And as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, tomorrow on our launch date, Mr. Holton Bubbs is going to be on here on the call with me. We'll be celebrating the launch day. I don't know how we're going to do it with social distancing. Maybe we'll all get some confetti and drop it in our own place, or drop some balloons from the ceiling. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. But Holton's going to be on here, and he's also going to talk about some promotional items. So again, let me emphasize to the drivers, what you need to do at this time is continue to work through that process. Look for the texts, look for the emails coming from our customer engagement team. Respond to them, get your information back in so you can be a driver. If you're a driver, more than likely you came here or you heard about the VibeRides opportunity, possibly from other Vibe drivers or potential drivers, or you may have actually learned about this opportunity from what we call an ambassador or TSA of iBoomerang. If it was another ambassador or TSA and you're interested in the Overdrive program, reach out and talk to them. Ask them for some more information. Can you tell me about it a little bit more? Can you tell me what it is? Again, we believe it's one of the best opportunities out there. It's the best opportunity for you. It's an opportunity-driven concept, and we hope you all will seriously take a look at it because we think it can be very impactful for what you do and what you can earn. So, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. 8 days of training. We said all that information that we've gone over these last 8 days is available on Zoom. It's available on VibeRides on Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook page, VibeRides, you're going to be able to find all the live trainings that we've done. Also, Angela, if you can click to the next slide for me, please. We also have our support. Like we said, you can always go to VibeRides.com. Up on the bar on the top, you'll see a support button. You can click on that, or you can go to VibeRidesSupport.com for additional questions. I'd encourage you again, go in and read the information. Lots of information there. Lots of information from the training. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Tomorrow, April 1st, go live. Go live day tomorrow, launch day tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to wait and see. But tune in tomorrow. And thanks so much for tuning in today. Drive smart, be safe, and we look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. All right, bye-bye.